Rams lose to the Dolphins 14-10 in the final minutes of the fourth quarter with Bill Plaschke and Gary Klein. I'm Lindsay Theory for the Los Angeles Times. Bill, it's almost like these Rams find a new way to lose. Jeff Fisher said this was among the most disappointing losses he's ever suffered, and boy, was it disappointing for the defense.
Well, it was disappointing from my vantage point. It was Jared Goff's first start. Don't forget, we talked about this all week. His first career start, number 1 overall draft pick. And it was like he wasn't there. It was like Tom Brady could have been the quarterback of this team, and they still would have lost the game. They didn't let Jared throw the ball long. They didn't let him take a chance. They were very conservative. They played not to lose all the way to the final 6 minutes in which they completely collapsed and lost. This is on the Ram coaching staff. It's on the Ram playbook. It's on the Rams to it's a failure complete throughout the team, I think. And the fans do it. The loudest chant in the crowd at the end of the game was defense, defense for the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphin fans out-shouted the Ram fans here. It was that bad on this rainy day.
Fisher said he did not minimize the playbook for Goff. The rookie quarterback, though, he really didn't take any chances down the field, except for that game-ending play, a Hail Mary, which fell incomplete in the end zone with no Rams receivers anywhere near it.
Well, the Rams haven't been able to throw the ball deep for most of the season, well, for all of the season. But we did expect to see with Goff's arm, with his size, that they would take more than the one chance that they did with Kenny Britt at one point. So there's no question. They were conservative. Everything was short. I don't know if they were playing not to lose, but they were certainly playing to put this on the back of the defense. And the defense was outstanding throughout the game. I don't know. I mean, in the end, you have to make the plays. But that defense was on the field so many times that at the end, I think it was just inevitable that they were going to crack at some point.
But their defense was also reckless. Would you agree, Gary? There's a few scuffles early in the game, then late in the game, penalties killed him. Roughing the passer, late hits.
But the defense, how frustrating is it to be in that position late in the game that you're back out on the field having to defend the few points that your team has put up?
I know. Well, that's the way this team is. If the Rams are going to basically say defense win the game, then that defense better be disciplined. That defense better be focused and on target. And at the end of the game, they were exhausted. So my point is, why not let Jared Goff have a chance to win this game? It's his first start. Look what Dak Prescott does. Look what Carson Wentz did. We talked about this all season long. Now he finally has the ball on the field, and they don't let him do anything.
How much of this is a Jared Goff problem? How much of this really is just the Rams' offensive philosophy problem?
I don't think it's a Jared Goff problem. You know, if they win this game, we're coming out of here saying, hey, the defense played great. They did just enough. They gave Goff just enough to...
We'd still be pretty critical of the lack of offense.
We would be critical of the play calling, but I don't think we'd be critical of Goff. He didn't turn the ball over. He had no interceptions, didn't fumble. He escaped a couple sacks. For a first start, it really wasn't that bad. They just didn't give him that much to do.
I thought it was really indicative. What's the first thing Jeff Fisher said after the game in complimenting Jared Goff? He said he didn't get any delayed game penalties. That was his first compliment. Seemed like the bar is not set very high.
The bar is not set
right?
high.
Is that right, Gary?
Well, I think you're right, because then when we asked Goff what we thought he did best, one of the first things he said was get the team in and out of the huddle, get him to the line of scrimmage. But quite frankly, for a rookie quarterback playing in his first game,
He did fine.
that's kind of all they want. Everything else is icing on the cake. And he did enough to put them in a position to win, but ultimately they did.
Jared Goff did fine, but Bill, the Rams break ground on their new stadium this week. They take their number 1 quarterback, they put him on the field, and then they lose a football game. In the final 4 minutes, they were up 10-0. How deflating is this for the fan base?
It was unbelievable, especially in the rain, where a lot of the fans left anyway. Then by the end of the game, most of them were gone. And the fans got to ask themselves, is it worth it to pay $100 to come here and fight the traffic and fight the long lines? The lines at the men's restroom today apparently were a mob scene in the pouring rain.
Is that a first-hand experience?
No, I would say I saw it. I just think, do you want to spend your money this way? And most of LA right now is going to say no.
Finally, Gary, the Rams will hit the road. They'll go to New Orleans. They'll go to Foxborough. Those teams, they're bound to put up a lot more points. Of course, this defense is playing well, but the offense just has to produce more.
1 touchdown today. I mean, if there was something to be optimistic about, Todd Gurley got going a little bit, but 1 touchdown is not going to beat the New Orleans Saints or the Patriots or the Falcons or the Seahawks in the second time around. So I think the insertion of Goff into the lineup was an attempt to inject some life into this offense, but really it hasn't happened, and now it gets really tough.
So Jared Goff was about 4 minutes away from picking up a win in his debut for the Rams. Instead, the Dolphins hand the Rams a 14-10 loss. with Bill and Gary. I'm Lindsay for the Los Angeles Times.